Okay, class. So today we're going to be talking about adverbs. Can you tell me what adverbs are?
Adverbs are words that describe verbs.
Good. They are words that describe verbs. So right now I'm going to talk about 3 different types of adverbs, which we call them degrees. So for this one right here, as you can see, we have one that's called the positive degree. And that one is a simple form of adverbs. That can only compare just one thing. And in the end, we add ly. So for this example right here, can you read this example?
He ran slowly.
Good. And that's where we use the ly right behind slow. So that's the adverb. And it's just comparing one thing. The next degree is comparative degree, which compares 2 actions. And on that one, we can either put er at the end, or we can also put more, followed by the word, followed by ly. So, Fernanda, can you please say this sentence right here?
That person ran more slowly than her.
Good. So right here, as you can see, more slowly is used. And we can also say that person ran slower than her. So you can use them interchangeable, and they're comparing 2 things. So it's comparing the person and her who is running. The last degree that we have is a superlative degree, which compares 3 or more things. And in this one, we can add est at the end. So can you say the sentence right here, please?
Out of all of them, he ate the slowest.
Good. Out of all of them, he eats the slowest. So right here, right after slow, that's where we're adding the est. And we're comparing out of all of them, so it could be more than one, more than 3 of them. It's just more than a group of people, and that's when we're comparing this one person specifically, right? And that's where we're using that. So now I'm going to focus on 2 sets of words just to give us a few practice problems, so that way we can know what kind of forms there are. So, for example, we heard in these examples some of these like slowly, more slowly, slowest. So now, Fernanda, can you give me different forms of the word slow?
Slowly, slower, more slowly, and slowest.
Good. Slowly, slower, more slowly, and slowest. Now, can you give me different forms of the word quick?
Quickly, quicker, more quickly, and quickest.
Good. Quickly, quicker, more quickly, and quickest. Now, I just want you to repeat these again so that way we can have a better understanding. For slow, repeat after me. Slowly,
Slowly,
slower,
slower,
more slowly,
more slowly,
and slowest.
slowest.
Good. Now let's do the ones for quick. Quickly,
Quickly,
quicker,
quicker,
more quickly,
more quickly,
and quickest.
and quickest.
Good. So now we're going to look at this picture right below. As you can see, there are 4 people right here. And what are they doing?
running.
Good, they're running. So I want you to give me an example, a sentence. Just comparing the last person. So in this picture right here, what can you give me as a sentence for this last person, Fernanda?
He runs slowly.
Good, he's running slowly. And because we're just comparing one person, that's when we use slowly with just the ly, right? So now,
Okay.
can you give me an example for comparing the first and the last person right here?
The first person, the first runner runs faster than the last person.
Good. So right here in this picture, we can see that this first person is running faster than all 4 of them. And the last person is running at the end. So because we're just comparing both of these, we can go back and use the comparative degree, which just compares 2 actions, which can either be er at the end or more slowly, right? And so when we go back to the sentence that you used, we're using er. So the first runner runs faster than the last person, and that means that you're just comparing 2 people, right? So now, Fernanda, can you give me just one sentence comparing the middle people right here, the boy and the girl?
She runs more slower than the guy in the green shirt.
Good. Again, we're going back to the comparative degree, which compares just 2 actions. So, as you said, she runs more slower than the guy in the green shirt. Because it's a comparative degree, you're using er or more blank S-L-O-W-L-Y. In this case, we're using more slower, like you said. Okay. So now, I'm going to give you a worksheet. There's some problems right here. The first 5 problems are going to be done together as a class, and then the last 3 problems will be done just between you two, and then we'll be talking together as a class. Okay. So let's go over the first 5. So I'm going to read these sentences, and then I'm going to have one of you just explain what can be said over there. Okay?
Okay.
So this first sentence right here, it says he arrived blank than expected, and the word that you can use is early. So Fernanda, what's the way that you can use that?
He arrived earlier than expected.
Good. He arrived earlier than expected. Let's go with the next sentence. He walked blank than the rest of the people. So the word that you can use is slowly. Can you use that in a sentence, or is there a form that you can use that in?
We walk more slowly than the rest of the people.
Good. We walked more slowly than the rest of the people. For this third sentence, they called us blank in the afternoon. Now the word is late. Fernanda, can you give me a form of late?
They called us later in the afternoon.
Good. They called us later in the afternoon. This next sentence right here. Jim threw the ball blank than Peter. The word is far. Can you give me a form of far?
Jim threw the ball farther than Peter.
Good. Jim threw the ball farther than Peter. In this last one, it says the new mechanic checked the car blank than the old mechanic. Fernanda, can you give me a form? And the word is thoroughly.
The new mechanic checked the car more thoroughly than the old mechanic.
Good. Now I want you to repeat after me. We're going to go to all of them, okay?
Okay.
So the first one right here, it says he arrived earlier than expected.
He arrived earlier than expected.
Good. The second one is we walked more slowly than the rest of the people.
We walked more slowly than the rest of the people.
Good. The third one right here, they called us later in the afternoon.
They called us later in the afternoon.
Good. This fourth one right here, Jim threw the ball farther than Peter.
Jim threw the ball farther than Peter.
Good. And the last one right here, the new mechanic checked the car more thoroughly than the old mechanic. So we're going to split this up because it's a little long. So the new mechanic checked the car.
The new mechanic checked the car
more thoroughly than
the
old mechanic.
The old mechanic.
Good. So let's try to say it all together. Let me say it one time, okay? The new mechanic checked the car more thoroughly than the old mechanic.
The new mechanic checked the car more thoroughly than the old mechanic.
Good. Okay, so now we're going to practice in pairs. I want y'all to practice together. And you're going to be practicing in the last 3, and then we're going to go back together and see what we got and see if it's the right answer. Okay?
Okay. Okay. So you answer this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mother and sister talked. Would it be more loudly?
Okay, he hits his arm harder than before.
And the Spanish athlete ran faster than the other runners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. And Fernanda, can you please read number 6 for me?
Yeah. My mother and my sister talked more loudly than the other guests.
Good. So the word was loudly, and you used more loudly to use it as an adverb, which is correct. So repeat after me. My mother and my sister
My mother and my sister
talked more loudly
than
the other guests.
the other guests.
Good. So let's try to say it all together. My mother and my sister talked more loudly than the other guests.
My mother and my sister talked more loudly than the other guests.
Good. So let's go with number 7. And can you give me the sentence and what you chose for this one?
He hits his arm harder than before.
Good. So he hit his arm harder than before. That is a good sentence. Okay, can you repeat after me? He hit his arm harder than before.
His arm harder than before.
Good. So now we're going with the final sentence, which is the Spanish athlete ran blank than the other runners. And Fernanda, can you give me what you wrote?
The Spanish athlete ran faster than the other runners.
Good. The Spanish athlete ran faster than the other runners. Now, can you repeat after me?
No, I'm sorry. No, it's not the other. It's the. Sorry, one more time.
Okay, so the Spanish athlete ran faster than the other runners.
The Spanish athlete on the.
try
I get on the. And I'm sorry. I get on the word that the other runners. It just stick
Okay,
in my
let's
mind.
take this
Can
real.
you, can you try one more time? and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you can
We're
say
gonna split it up first, okay? So the Spanish athlete
The Spanish athlete
ran faster
ran faster
than the other runners.
than the other runners.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to say it all together, and then you can repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
The Spanish athlete ran faster than the other runners.
The
Spanish athlete ran
faster than the other runners.
Good. Good. Okay, so that was it for this activity right now. Next week we'll be talking about clauses. And okay,
Do we turn this in?
you can keep that for studying later because that's
Okay.
going to be on the next test.
Okay,
Thank you.